Shelf life. I've heard rumblings of this game. Well, if you consider breadcrumbs falling downstairs rumblings. No one's covered this game. It's so difficult to find anything on YouTube about it. But judging by the name, I assumed it would be a Half-Life. Or at least a parody of Half-Life? I'm not sure.
I can't let you in without your suit.
Nope, this is definitely a Half-Life parody. Hey, Jarek here. I'm a dragon on the internet, and today I'm going to be covering Shelf Life. Graphically, I don't actually have a whole lot to say about this game. It uses a pretty common low-poly asset pack that I've seen throughout many other games. This on itself is not a bad thing. I'm in a deck I use something very similar, and that game is fantastic. So, moving on. However, what isn't fine is the complete lack of options. This is it. You can't turn off motion blur, you can't change your key bindings, you can't turn down the game volume, only the music volume for some reason, and it's oddly graphically intensive for how it looks. How graphically intensive? Well, on max settings, I'm getting around 25 FPS. There's no reason I should be running like that. I think most of that is due to the lighting. If I put it on high settings, I'll get around 60, but still, I shouldn't be getting 60 FPS in a game like this. You'd look at it and assume you'd be getting 1000 FPS. I'm running a 3080, which is no longer the best GPU around, but it's still fairly high-end, so again, it shouldn't be running this poorly. My build can max out Doom the Dark Ages without issue. I'm pretty sure this game shouldn't be as intensive as Doom. Thankfully, the game doesn't stutter, and it is at least consistent, so this doesn't entirely ruin the gameplay. Not being able to change the key bindings didn't hinder my gameplay either, because all the default key bindings were the key bindings I would have used personally, so thankfully in my case, it's fine. The dev thankfully understands that control is the objectively superior key for crouch, not C. I hate having to remove my fingers from WASD to crouch. What, are you moving your thumb from the spacebar from the jump button? Why? My pinky's already on control, just press that instead. But still, if you're someone that uses C for crouch, not being able to rebind your keys is going to be a hassle for you. This is a mandatory thing, it's baffling that this isn't here. Same thing with not being able to turn off motion blur. Motion blur is terrible. Anyway, the game starts on a rail, just like Half-Life 1. Except for you're going through the dumb tunnels. Yes, that's literally what they're called. The dumb tunnels.
Good morning and welcome to Edison Corp. I am Ron Edison, but of course, you already know that. We at Edison Corp are industry leaders in biotech, social media, and of course, production of automated astronautical, aeronautical, and subterranean vehicles. I hope you enjoy your automated journey through our dumb tunnels.
You're in an automated car with definitely not Elon Musk talking at you. Turns out you're a ballistics test dummy. You're here to test the new suit.
Walk along the yellow line. Try not to tense up.
Amazingly, this didn't kill you. But by the time you wake up, the company is being taken over by lizard people? Stop making me look bad. Okay, so you're in the middle of a hostile takeover by a rival company, Para. And some of the things these lizard people say is funnier than it should be.
We told you about our dental plan.
The only way to escape with your life is to end the merger by tanking the company's stock, which your CEO seems to already be doing every other week anyway. The first weapon you get is a baton. Standard melee weapon, and it's entirely worthless as soon as you get the pistol. Not because the pistol is just objectively better as a gun, but because the split function for the pistol is a melee that's just as strong as the baton. I really don't have much to say about this pistol. It functions as your base pistol, and once you get better guns, you won't use this either. Very quickly, I got lost. And that's a bit of a problem because there's no walkthroughs on YouTube. There's like nothing on YouTube. Nobody seems to know about this game. So I had to figure this out on my own. Turned out, the game bugged. Door was supposed to open, and it just didn't. Alright, so got soft locked, tried to back out to the main menu. Game crashed. Cool. Alright, whatever, launching the game again. Oh cool, now it's crashing on launch. Why? Eventually, I got that figured out, and the game launched, and when I loaded back in, after I killed all of the enemies, the door opened as it was supposed to. Something interesting I noticed is that you don't get a shotgun in this game, which usually would make me very disappointed. But instead, your up-close weapon is a flamethrower. Hell yes! This flamethrower is actually pretty damn good. For a video game, it has a lot of range and does a lot of damage. The one problem is that it completely eats your frame rate. You need to take the servers offline, because they won't be able to take the company if it's not worth anything. Taking the servers offline just requires pressing 2 buttons. The first one, press to cold hot. Sure. After you press this button, enemies will spawn behind you, so you know you're going the right way. You'll come across the second button, and when you press this one, nothing happens. There's something here talking about fuel. Maybe I need to fill it with fuel? I messed around here for quite a bit, not knowing what to do. Yeah, this is one of those games. One of those where the fuck do I go games. I eventually decided to backtrack for a bit, where I finally found this hole in the ground. I didn't hear an explosion that caused this or anything. It just is here now, and this is the way you need to go. Yeah, the signposting in this game is pretty bad. If you haven't figured that out, you're gonna get lost while you play this game. But once you're down here, you get the Fungibilizer. This is a laser engraving rifle that shoots NFTs. Yeah, this game was being developed during that NFT craze and pokes fun at it. Thank God that market collapsed. Either way, this gun is a very funny concept. Just slap some GPUs on something, put a heatsink on the front of it, you have yourself a weapon. Even if in all reality, this is just the Tau cannon reskinned. Yeah, it functions exactly the same. You can fire it quickly, or you can charge a shot. The charge shot also giving you knockback so you can add to your movement. But hey, you're back in the dumb tunnels.
Oh god.
Jesus Christ, look out for these cars. This down here is the best part of the game. There's okay combat, you have to dodge these cars, the cars can kill the enemies too. It's difficult to get lost, you just gotta get some batteries and put them into things to open doors. If the whole game was like this, then yeah, I'd be saying it's a pretty decent Half-Life. I don't actually have a whole lot more to say about this level, it's very straightforward and I'm totally fine with that. But eventually, you come across the CEO. He's in virtual reality of some sorts, and you must invade his brain. Yeah, personally, I don't want to invade Elon Musk's brain, I prefer if I never heard about him again. This leads you into learning everything the CEO is hiding. What the fuck am I reading? Repressed memories of gay stuff. What is this game? My least favorite flavor of deodorant. And the final boss is an obvious parody of Half-Life 1's Nihilith, with the CEO spouting typical Elon anti-woke DEI stuff that you would expect.
I am the Alpha and the Sigma, the harbinger of the face and ender of wokeness.
It's pretty amusing, and I'm always down for clowning on Elon. Especially right now. And the game soft-locked again. I can't swap weapons. The game is bugged out on me. So look in the bottom left, or bottom right. I can't swap weapons, and I can't shoot. So the game is just completely broken.
Edison, boss.
Oh, very, 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 very cool. Okay. Hold on, let me relaunch the game. Well, after I beat the boss for the second time, you're given a private conversation between Elon and people close to him.
You hit me with a yellow shell and sent me to the left.
Make us play children's games with him. This is meant to be a tech, not a slumber.
You know, I forgot that had blast damage. Alright, hold up, let me beat the boss for the third time. This basically rinse and repeats. You're given the same boss, which isn't too difficult to beat. You're given another private conversation, and eventually you're pulled out of VR.
Wow, Ron, you're so good at Winston Cart. Your skill at video games and keen eye for... Why didn't he make us play children's games with him?
What?
This is meant to be a tech company, not a slumber party. You have to know I'm only saying this so I don't get fired or turn into target practice.
I know you paid for the Yellow Shell DLC. I guess you're just used to getting praised for hard work when all you actually did was use your parents' money.
No, you're all fired!
I'm so proud of you, son. You barely needed any help from me or my mines to become a successful multi-billionaire. Listen here, you fucking failure. You owe everything you have now to me and the slaves in my mines. If you don't stop embarrassing the family, grabbing headlines every week, your connections will be severed, and you'll have to work for the first time in your sad life.
What? So I'm just a big joke to everyone?
And that's it. That's just the whole game. It's really short. It took me about an hour and a half, and that's with getting lost and messing around with my chat while streaming. The game is extremely cheap at only $4, $3 currently on sale, but even for that price, I couldn't recommend. I was soft-locked numerous times playing it, it's constantly buggy, it doesn't run very well, there's limited settings, and the gameplay itself is so unimaginative that I couldn't recommend it even if it didn't have those problems. The concept of the game is funny, and I'm always down for clowning on Elon, but that doesn't necessarily make a good game on its own. I like Half-Likes. I played a lot of Half-Likes, but this isn't one I could recommend. Hey, huge thanks to my YouTube members who got to see this video early, like way ahead of time. I was stockpiling videos for a while. These guys really do help out. Pays some of my electric bill, some of my water bill. Lord knows I could use that right now. It means a lot that these people want to just kind of throw money at me to keep doing all of this. So I say it every video, but I really do mean it. Thanks a lot to these people. And even if you don't want to do this, that's fine. If you want to support me in other ways, then you can watch these videos here. Huge playlist of videos just like this, recommended one over there, or subscribe to this button right here. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.